It's playoff time in Baltimore. Flock, stand up. If you want to beat the Houston Texans, like today's video. Don't jinx it. Don't even risk it. Don't maybe come find you because you didn't like today's video. Let's do all our parts and make sure that the Ravens get it done this weekend. Like the video, and we'll get started with today's show. Are the Ravens on upset alert? That is what we're talking about here on this edition of Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for stopping by. The question that everyone wants to know, is Baltimore overlooking C.J. Stroud and the Stroud boys this weekend in this divisional round matchup coming up on Saturday from Baltimore? The Ravens come in with the best record in the National Football League. Number one overall seed in the AFC, home field advantage. They've been off for a couple weeks. But now you face a Houston Texans team that has been playing some really good football themselves as of late. Got a huge win last week against the Cleveland Browns. 10-7 record, division title, and they have been red hot. They've been a different football team since C.J. Stroud came back from injury. But the Texans, despite how well they have played as of late, still being disrespected. The odds going into this weekend have Baltimore as a heavy favorite by more than a touchdown, 8.5 points for this game on Saturday, over under at 45.5. And when I look at this game, you go back and you think about the first time these two teams met, back in week one when the Ravens had their way with the Houston Texans and handled Houston pretty easily, might I add, winning that one going away right. The dangerous thing with Houston now, compared to what they were week one, this is just a much different team. If I am John Harbaugh and this coaching staff, there's not really a ton that you can take away from the film of that first game compared to this second game because so much has happened. C.J. Stroud is playing so much better than what he was back then. That Texans defense has come along. They're a different team. But I'd argue the Ravens are a different team too. The Ravens finished the year so strong, and this offense evolved under Todd Monken with what Lamar turned into on his way to becoming the MVP and everything. You can't really compare this matchup to what we saw previously. What is your prediction? Who wins? What's the final score going to be? Sound off the comment section, answer our pinned comment today, and let us know how you think this game is ultimately going to play out or not. Who wins? What's the final? Let me know. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose two or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, maybe mix and match different leagues, NFL, NBA, NHL, and more. And here's what I got on Prize Picks for this weekend. I got Lamar to have more than 226.5 passing yards. Zay Flowers to have more than 51.5 receiving yards. And C.J. Stroud to have less than 257.5 passing yards. If all three of those hit, I put $20 down. I'm making $100 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of a Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. So let's tell you more about the matchup on the other side, who the Ravens are facing. C.J. Stroud, under center for Houston, has been phenomenal. The second overall pick in the draft this past year out of Ohio State. And he is the presumed NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, kind of the same way that Joe Biden and Donald Trump were the presumed nominees of their respective parties for the 2024 elections. Same can be said for C.J. Stroud, that he has not officially been named the Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he will be in no time. And it was a record-setting year for C.J. Stroud. Set not one, not two, not three, but 4 NFL rookie QB records this season. He was very impressive, and it's clear that he is the Houston Texans franchise quarterback. And the other thing about Stroud, too, is that he's not playing like a rookie. We saw a really not just strong season, but in a playoff environment, going up against a great defense in Cleveland last week. He showed his own. He's grown up right before our very eyes and turning into a star. What we saw from C.J. Stroud this year, 23 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. Did a really good job of taking care of the football. Over 4,000 yards passing. He was fantastic. And last week against Cleveland, all we heard about was how great this Cleveland defense is, that it might have been the best defense in all of football. And what did Stroud do? Nearly 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 16-21 through the air. Stroud was really good. Now, by comparison of what we are seeing this week between him and Lamar Jackson, Lamar has the edge in completion percentage, Stroud with the edge in yards, Lamar with the edge in touchdowns. Stroud threw less picks. Lamar's quarterback rating was better. Similar numbers between the two, but Lamar, of course, with much better numbers when it comes to the running ability, what he was able to do on the ground as a rusher as well. C.J. Stroud, not much of a running quarterback. Who's going to have the better game on Saturday? Will it be Lamar Jackson or will it be C.J. Stroud? Weigh in the comments section. Tell me who you think is going to have the better day on Saturday. L for Lamar, C for C.J. Stroud. Weigh in and tell us what you think. We are covering this team each and every day here on Ravens Rundown with daily news and rumors. We're going to be live for every single Ravens playoff game all the way up to the Super Bowl. You want to lock it in. We got you covered right here on Ravens Rundown. Subscribe now for free. Help us reach our next milestone of 15,000 subscribers. Sub for Ravens playoff dubs. You'll be glad you did. Doesn't cost you a thing. Subscribe now. Now, besides just C.J. Stroud, when we take it a step further and read into this Houston Texans team, I see a roster that is sneaky good. Remember, going into 2023, there wasn't a lot of hope, a lot of high expectations for this Houston Texans team. This team's a lot better than what people think, and in particular, speed. Speed on both sides of the football. Now, the Texans don't have a couple of their top key players on offense due to injuries. But still, Nico Collins looks good. Dalton Schultz, the former Dallas Cowboy, has come to life. He's looked good. Singletary's done a solid job. I like what John Mechie's done. And Laremy Tunsil has proven to be one of the best left tackles in all of football. We know that the Ravens' pass rush has been so good this year. They're going to have their work cut out for them going up against a great left tackle like Laremy Tunsil there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Will Anderson Jr. has been fantastic this season for the Houston Texans. The rookie out of Alabama with 7+ sacks. He was a problem for Cleveland last week. Derek Barnett, another edge rusher as well. These guys are going to try to do what they can to go after Lamar and get him under pressure. In the secondary, really strong as well, specifically at the corner spot. Stingley and Nelson, both very good corners in their own right. Can't count out Blake Cashman as well as the linebacker position. They got some dogs in this Houston Texans team. So I say all this to say, don't take this team lightly. Just because the Ravens are favored by over a touchdown does not mean this team should be overlooked. And this Ravens team, we've said it before, we'll say it again, coming off 2 weeks off for some of these starters since they've last played a football game, they need to come out of the gates firing right away and set the tone. Because the Texans, they've embraced that underdog role. They are playing with nothing to lose, and that's dangerous. What's your confidence level versus the Texans this weekend? Scale it for me in the comments section. Let me know what you think, 1 through 10. How confident are you feeling going into this weekend? I still feel pretty confident. I give it about an 8 personally, but I'm not going to try to be overconfident. We'll see how things work out. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to win this weekend, you want to win the Super Bowl, like the video. We'd appreciate it, and we'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.